Hi everyone. In this video, I would like to discuss about looking for love. A lot of us on this planet are participating in a very impactful, monumental shift. Okay? And this shift is, we could say, a total paradigm shift. So when it comes to looking for love, clearing away bad habits, coming into our most authentic self, this is the time. Right now we have Venus entering Scorpio. Today is October 1st, 2018. And what that means is that all of the obstructions, okay, within the psyche, okay, of ourself, that which is connected to our family tree, connected to the collective that we are in, such as our nationality, ethnicity, our geographic region. Okay. Venus is a very liberating goddess energy. And when I say goddess energy, I simply refer to, like, let's say a Hindu deity of Lakshmi, or we can say Green Terra. Okay, I've seen photos, and you can look them up on Google. You see photos of them, and they're very dynamic. They're very expansive, multi-talented, and very clear to the soul. So that makes them very powerful at being able to manage their creation, that is their physical life, getting their creation bountiful, blissful, and happy to the orbit of their higher soul. Okay? So what that simply means, going into a little bit of the Venus and the Scorpio energy. Scorpio is a lot of our habits, like I said, and how this influences looking for love is that we have to clear away all of these obstructions before we can really get to the alignment or relink that orbit of happiness to ourselves. Now, you guys may not understand what I'm talking about, and that's perfectly okay. That is perfectly okay. So, what inspired this video creation is the New Moon Astrology by Jan Spiller. Okay. And I want to dive into how we can better attract love during this particular time. So how we can use the energy that is all around us to influence us towards getting what we want, fulfillment. And that's what Venus is about. It's about fulfillment. It's very simple, it's very beautiful, it's very divine, but it's fulfillment. It's what we all want, to link to that higher soul calling for coming to planet Earth, which is to be fulfilled. Okay, so with the Scorpio energy, okay, being magnetized. So when I mean magnetized, it's being evoked, it's being risen within us. That's Scorpio energy. Regardless if you have a lot of Scorpio in your chart or if you have basically no Scorpio in your chart, like me, okay? It doesn't matter. We all are the 12 zodiac, okay? All human beings encompass the total 12 zodiac. Just like when you look at, let's say, a Hindu deity, or with the, let's say, a deity that has like 12 arms, that simply represents the many dimensions or the facets of a person. So a lot of the, let's say, the Green Tara, you can look online, okay, you see them with, like I said, very dynamic, as though they're like 12 people in one embodiment. That is the higher calling of the soul, to be able to clear away all the blocks and to replace those blocked energies or those limitations with gifts and talents and prosperities. That gives us an embodiment where, like Yogi Bhajan would say, we can live a life of 1,000 lives. Okay. It's like in this one moment, I am traveling through 5 incarnations. And that's very much like the Hindu deities, and why they're multitasking, where they're like holding a rose, and then they're giving out light, and then they're playing an instrument, all in the one photo, the one embodiment. That is our higher potential as humanity, to be able to clear away all of the limitations, the conditions that that connect us to habits that keep us, let's say, stuck in this sort of relay or rotation with ourselves, that doesn't open us to the possibilities, the potentials that are there. We just have to kind of clear away the obstructions so that they can arrive inside of us, so that we can begin to integrate it, so that we can begin to live it in this embodiment. Okay? So what I've what I've learned in my own personal journey is that we are not just we this is me, okay? We're made of past lives. Okay? And I'll show you the evidence in my own physical hand. So in my heart line, I have double line, okay? And that simply means right here, this is the heart line. What that means is that my heart is like there's guarded, okay? And when I meditate upon this, because I'm relatively young, I shouldn't have a very guarded heart, okay? So when I meditate upon this, I look at my past lives, and I've had experiences, let's say, were very dangerous regarding people, okay? Because I was always very, revolutionary, leader, warrior kind of energy. So, of course, getting into dangerous situations. So that has caused my heart to be a little guarded when it comes to intimacy, or when it comes to closeness with other people. Okay, so that is an evidence of past life that can be an obstruction or a condition or a block that needs to be remedied for us to receive what it is that we're calling to the universe. So we have those past lives that, regardless if you're 5 or if you're 10 or if you're 13, they can be showing up. We also have deep, deep conditioning. So that deep conditioning from those many lives, as well as this life, it can limit us into a weak possibility for ourselves. So a lot of times, most of us on this planet are not even working with the magic of new moon astrology, or working with the magic of dreaming and being a dreamer and having wishes and believing in your wishes and believing in your intuition or your spirit guides. Most of us are not even in that space. But that is the space in which the miracles arrive. And that's what all of the saints, the yogis, even the Hindu deities are trying to resurrect or revive within the heart of man and woman, is this magic, this miracle that happens in this particular frequency. It's a frequency inside of you, okay? But sometimes all of the obstructions, the conditions, they block us from that, okay? So when it comes to attracting love or looking for love, when we have to feel, we want to get to a place where it is harmonious. So if it's not harmonious, this is very simple. It's very easy, okay? Easeful, okay? If it's not creating some harmony within yourself, then there's something within yourself that you need to look at. Okay? And the best thing you do is even being quiet, even while you're reading a book. Being quiet while you're reading a book allows yourself to unravel so that you can look at what is actually taking place within your heart. And if you automatic journal, or if you just allow yourself to even paint or just write, right wishes, right intentions from a place, a very sentimental, heartfelt place of with an intention for fulfillment, genuine, honest, sincere fulfillment for yourself, you will naturally, your intuition will naturally tell you about yourself. So it's not hard work, okay? A lot of people think self-improvement or self-empowerment is a lot of hard work. It can be very easeful if you unravel yourself, if you allow yourself to unravel in the quiet of your being. Okay. So a lot of times when it comes to relationships, what we see is we're entering so many relationships and we don't understand the environments we travel through, okay, such as past lives, such as even this life. We can we can we can collect conditions, or we can collect habits. Okay, that's why a lot of times you see father like son, because the son is collected the habits of the father. Okay, so that's where we get the obstruction that puts a block between the calling, the arrival of the higher calling of the soul. So when we enter relationships and we're not following that harmony or that feeling comfortable within ourselves, which we know it deep inside. It's not something hard to grasp or to understand. You just feel it. It's harmony, and we just kind of we are more so in a habitual pattern kind of thing rather than actual receptivity, receiving an opportunity. We're actually making kind of things happen. Then we can find ourselves collecting a lot of certain conditions and beliefs from these many relationships we have that just add more to the obstructions that maybe we already have when it comes to relationships. Okay? So sometimes the best thing to do within ourselves is to be in that quiet moment where we can allow ourselves to unfold, to be honest with ourselves. Okay? And to be comfortable with the journey as we remedy these particular past lives, or even the conditions in these lives, in this life, when it comes to what a relationship is. Okay? Because a lot of us, particularly in this southeast USA, we have a lot of relationship dysfunctionality, a lot of relationship disharmony, where people are. So I don't even want to explain. It's just messy. Okay, we have a lot of that. So that can be conditions that we have connected to relationships. So instead of staying true to our higher calling, or to what really brings us a sense of harmony, makes us feel comfortable, safe, and comforted, we kind of give into that, let's say, that habitual negative habit that gets us involved or entangled in relationships that do not bring us to our fulfillment. Okay, so the spirit guides, they want us to be fulfilled, but we have to allow ourselves to be fulfilled. Okay, and that's a feminine energy, and that it's very much like a Venus energy. It is the receptivity, it's the allowing of the energy to pass through us, particularly the planets and the cosmos, and how it's always shifting and realigning and aligning and then realigning to help us fulfill ourselves. So when it comes to love, allowing love, a lot of times looking for love, allowing love, a lot of times we have to go through the journey of the obstructions. We have to go through that. so that we can get to the higher love. Let's say the unconditional love, the higher calling of the soul love. Okay, and with that, it's looking at the things that trigger us as well. So there's a whole culture in the spiritual community about what triggers us. So it is very much looking at what triggers us. When we hear this, or when we see that, or when we read this, we get like a negative response, a tension response. That's simply meaning inside of ourselves we have an opportunity to send healing energy to those areas. And it can be easeful and it can be easy if we allow it. And that is opening up your emotions. Okay? And that's not, we're not replaying the thing again. Okay? That's not what we want to do. We're allowing it to pass through so that we can be done with it. So that it's like taking out the garbage. But a lot of us, we want this higher love, but we're not willing to go through the journey of obstructions. Okay, but that is what we must do, because that self-empowerment is also self-realization. Okay, and and that is also, we are, like I said, with these Hindu deities, with these like 12 arms, and they're doing multiple things in one embodiment. That's our higher potential, and that's gathering back to our whole heart, which is our harmony with ourselves, our harmony with our intellect, our harmony with our sensuality, sexuality, okay? And getting back into the harmony is not, oh, we are forgetting, we are following, and we're ignoring the obstructions. No, we are looking at the obstructions with ourselves, and we are setting an intention. Okay, that's where the magic realm is. Okay, the magic realm. That's where empowerment has a chance to meet realization. Okay, we create that within ourselves, and we have an opportunity to remedy that obstruction and find ourselves in the next stage or the next phase of moving closer to our true fulfillment for ourselves in this incarnation. That's the deepest discovery, and that's the most rewarding discovery. And not only rewarding discovery, it also becomes our sense of tool or technique that we use for our life moving forward, and even in our other incarnations. Okay, that connection to the magic within ourselves, the synchronicity, the flow state. So there are many pathways in getting into that flow state where you can finally see the unraveling of yourself take place, so you can allow and receive the deeper you, your intuitive you, to actually tell you what is going on within you, why these maybe things haven't happened, or why it's not necessarily, why your intentions are maybe not blooming. Okay, to be divine timing, but it also could be there's something within yourself you need to purify. This is about a character. Okay, there's even a line from this book about the purification of the character. So, usually when a wish doesn't manifest right away, it is a sign that what you have wished for, involves a deeper purification of your character before it can come true. So I'm going to state that again. Okay? Usually when a wish doesn't manifest right away, it is a sign that what you have wished for involves a deeper purification of your true character before it can come true. Deeper purification. So this is more of it's like combining astrology with attracting the higher love, because it's not just about partnership, okay, romance. It's also about with yourself, and with animals, and with Mother Earth, and with your intimate partner, as well as your family and the people that you meet on your life journey, acquaintances, deep friendships. Okay, so that higher love, Okay? All of us, like I said, all of us are these 12 zodiacs. And a lot of us carry a lot of times the shadow of the zodiacs more so than the higher potential of the zodiacs. Okay, so like for Aries, just an example, instead of being a warrior or self responsible, we're a victim. Okay, so with instead of Taurus being using one's natural talents and gifts to make a living for oneself, we are maybe caught in materialism or vanity, those kinds of things. Okay, even for example with Gemini, instead of being open minded and wanting to learn the many perspectives, we're closed minded and chatty because we're trying to prove that our perspective is almighty. Okay, so those are the shadows, and we have the higher potentials in the shadows. And that's what we're working through on a collective, and that's what Scorpio is helping us with, is Venus and Scorpio is helping us to really look at our psyche. And the Scorpio is like, we're looking at the shit, the garbage, the trash yard. Okay, so if any of the 12 zodiacs represent like the deeper, most inner subconscious self, is Scorpio, the trash yards. And the thing is, when the trash yards are heavy, we're heavy because the psyche is who we are. Okay, we can put on a smile, but if our psyche is full of trash, it doesn't matter. Your smile will still be weak. Okay? So Venus is bringing that beauty to the Scorpio, and beauty is divine love, and that's what we're talking. Looking for love, attracting love. Okay, is bringing that divine healing into the trash yards and allowing it to pass through. And a part of it is allowing it to pass through your emotions. So a lot of us, we don't know how to manage our emotions, and we lock our emotions. But a lot of times when our heart is locked, which is our emotional body, we can't successfully maneuver the conditions, the bad habits out of our system. But that's why we connect with a higher frequency, such as mantras or yoga or even going to like a Ganesh temple. Okay, it's it's simply when we feel submerged in, let's say, a higher frequency, we feel more able to receive our emotions because we know that we're in a safe environment. But if we're not, which a lot of us are not, in a safe environment, when we have those obstructions that come up, which is, it just doesn't feel right. It's easy. You're doing something and it doesn't feel right, but you keep doing it because you just don't, a lot of times, you just don't allow yourself to listen to yourself. Okay? But then at the end of the day, the knock for fulfillment, or the call for fulfillment, is always there, because that's why we're here to. That's what we're here, okay? So when we allow the passage through our emotional body, which is through our hearts, let's say, the heaviness, the garbage, okay? When we're in this intention of healing, it doesn't become something we need to fear or get entangled with or keep repeating on like a relay that just never ends. We're using that direct command we have, which is also our navel point, to set ourselves free, to set ourselves on a higher course. Okay? And that higher course is looking for love, is divine love. Okay? And it's not the will of you. Yes, will is important, but there's also a grace. So we have will and we also have grace. And that is the harmony, that is the ease. The will is when you are, or let's say the grace is when you're at the right place at the right time. The will is simply, you know how to maneuver, or you know how to move your energy at the right place at the right time, that gives you what you want creatively. Or yes, everything is creative. Whatever you want, intention is a creative force or creative ease. Okay, So that is the will and the grace that I'm talking about, that also very much has to do with connecting self-empowerment with self-realization. Self-realization is just being in a flow state. And self-empowerment is using your, it could even be will, to just sit down and just to be quiet, reading a book. For a lot of people, that's will, or to face that habitual pattern, or that habitual thing, to just keep doing that because you don't believe in yourself, okay, in your fulfillment. So, but when we have this will and we have this grace together, this self empowerment as this self realization, it's easeful to allow the emotions to pass through. It doesn't mean that it's not going to bring up things that may be uncomfortable, but when we are allowing ourselves to be on a journey of healing, which a lot of people don't even put that intention of, I want to be on a journey of healing, we will always receive what we need inside or even in around to help us to pass through. Okay? Because when you pass through whatever that obstruction is or that bad habit, you're passing it through your whole family tree. Those, all of those lifetimes where you had that same pattern or that same habit, okay, your family, and they're probably most likely doing that as well. So when you, the guides want you to do that, so they'll, but you have to allow them in. That's the thing, okay? Into your heart, because that's where your spirit guides are. They're in this heart chakra energy, okay? So with the Venus and Scorpio, just getting back to the Venus and Scorpio, okay? So when the Venus in Scorpio, and we have 2018, okay, October 2000, entering. So what that means is we have this opportunity to bring that beauty of Venus to the heaviness of, like, let's say, the Scorpio obstructions, okay, which is simply out of, you do not listen to the harmony within yourself, the call of the higher soul, okay? And with this, it's helping us collectively, because as we enter into the Aquarian age, which is the goal here, enter successfully into the Aquarian age out of this, mess, a part of it is traveling through those obstructions so that we can begin to experience our whole heart, to begin to experience the ease of being willful and graceful as we easily receive the things that we need and want for fulfillment. And that is our journey, that is stages, that is phases. It's almost like an initiation. And we're all being initiated into the Aquarius age. Okay, so in the Aquarius age is what's going to really propel us forward into, let's say, a more advanced civilization that we have with the technology and so on. But this advanced technology is not so much computers, it is technology of the self and other connectivity, okay, within the biology. So we can get into robots, but the biology is the true evolution, is the true advancements that's taking place. Not artificial biology, but biology of, like I said, the Hindu deity. We could say even the Green Tara or the Lakshmi, beings who are very much this dynamic, expansive, multi-talented, multifaceted, almost like working computer. That's what we're getting back to through the journey of getting clear of the obstructions. So ways, I like reading of this book, it's very inspiring. Ways of clearing away the obstructions is also, I like the whole, I want to easily, okay, like I want to easily attract, I want to easily receive, I intend, and these are all happening on the new moon. So she refers to um, 8 hours before the new moon. Okay, you can even be 2 days before where you just write out the intentions, like I intend, I want to, but it's a feeling into yourself, into your heart. It needs to be sentimental. It needs to feel right. You need to feel comfortable with it. Okay, you need to also connect with imagination, with expansion. Okay, and allow yourself to receive yourself, if that makes sense. So I wanted to share this with you all because I feel like this can help you when it comes to looking for love, because there's so much looking for love, but all of it is keeping us in this, a lot of this tarot card readings, whatnot, it's keeping us in this looking for love, where it's like this looking, and it's not easeful. It's not easeful. It's just this heavy duty, hard work. Okay? And like I said, will and grace, we have the willful, it's the command to end this habit, and the grace to receive your intuition, to follow through with complete trust and surrender. Okay? But we have this complication. And a lot of times as we overcomplicate because of these obstructions we have when it comes to ourselves and when it comes to other, through the collection of people that we have, or even past life people that have created these, influenced us to have these sort of thinking patterns or thought patterns that create these relationship dilemmas, I like to say. Okay, so yes, this is very much what I wanted to communicate to you all at this time. It's a little dark in the video, but that is a-okay. So I hope this video has served you in any way to expanding your mind. Every video I do is very much about expanding your mind, opening up your mind in just new nuances, okay? And I'm on this journey too. So I learn, and I I am further learning, and learning is like air. It's like trial, and it's like air, okay? And that is a part of moving through this, what we have right now, 2018, 2000 to 2018, this new, like I said, the shift happening on the planet that we're all responsible for, okay? Successfully navigating through. And the journey, a part of it is accepting your emotions, embracing your emotions, and learning to love the journey of reconnecting with your higher soul calling on this particular planet. Okay? Because when you relink with that, okay, wholeheartedly, like become a whole being, like the Green Terror or Lakshmi, you are basically this, you are proof, okay, to the logical mind, which is we are more so patriarchal than, we're off in that set more so than the actual heart. That gives evidence to that patriarchal side that yes, this magic is reality. It actually, more than is reality, it is creation itself. Okay? And that is the bridge that bridges the patriarchal, the logical seeking of evidence, proof, and the matriarchal, which is about mysticism, sacred ritual, intention setting, the new moon, intention setting, listening to your intuition, following your intuition, creating harmony with yourself, using the healing ability to clear away the destructions and the distortions of yourself that just keep you in a habit of unfulfilled self, okay? And that bridge is what's going to bridge or offset this patriarchal sort of whatever we got going on, okay, and bring us more into the balance of ourselves. Because the Aquarian age is more so the mark of the matriarchal rise or matriarchal ascension, okay? And that matriarchal ascension is the empowerment, the will, and the grace, the realization coming together to easily unfolds like nature and creation itself. It is a feminine energy. It is a receptivity. It's allowing. It is an intuitive. It is the quiet. It is the stillness. It is holistic. It is authentic. And that's why it is harmonious. Okay, so whatever we should be doing pursuit wise, it should be of bringing of harmony to ourselves and to our environment. And all else things, it's 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 just, it's not it. Okay, so thank you for watching, and namaste.